Hey, what's up? Welcome to season 2 of The Reflection Show. I'm so excited that you're tuning in. Listen, before the show even begins, I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you click that button below. There are some awesome stories this season 2 that I'm bringing to your living room, to your cell phone, to your iPad. Hey, it might even be your friend's phone. But I want you to like, comment, and subscribe and get ready to be impacted, influenced, and inspired with these unscripted stories right here on The Reflection Show. I'm your host, Rosangela Parker, and remember, your experience matters. Let's get into the show. Welcome to The Reflection Show. My name is Rosangela Parker. You never go to the mirror scripted. You always go unscripted. And you know, every Monday, I like to bring to you a story that's getting ready to impact, influence, and inspire you. And this woman right here, she is thriving in the business world because she is handling some business. Did you hear that? Some business. And this is my dear friend, Rosangela!
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for being on the show. And I know you have a profound story. You and I had sat downtown at East Spaces, and I was able to just get a glimpse of it. I said, oh my goodness, wait, we got to make sure that they are hearing your story. Let everybody know, where does your story begin?
I am native from Puerto Rico. My parents migrated to the United States. We actually moved to Indianapolis, Indiana. And you might ask, well, what's in Indianapolis, Indiana? Yeah. Well, for 2 adults and a small family that had no formal education but knew how to work the earth, wow, they came to the United States as migrant farm workers. So as U.S. citizens, that's what their limited knowledge allowed them to do. And so they started working crops in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Wow,
yeah,
that's a long journey. Your parents dealt with adversity, they had opportunity, and they took advantage of the diversity and was able to conquer so that you can live your dream today as the woman in business you are. So what are some of the things that you learned from your parents that have been established in you and allow you to become who you are today?
You know, my mother was limited in her education. She was pulled from high school and not afforded the opportunity to pursue a career. It was not something that my grandfather felt she needed to do as a woman. Yeah. And she ended up really supporting me and encouraging me to pursue an education. She was my #1 champion when it came to education. And so, and I naturally just really wanted to learn and explore the world and try things differently. And so it afforded me the opportunity to learn things and experience life in a different way that they never had the opportunity to.
So what's giving you strength today is basically the exposure your parents sacrificed for you to have and be able to make the better you as far as what you do here in Central Florida.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I've really found that in life, you are afforded many opportunities, and it's those choices you make that ultimately define your life, your present, your future. Wow. And your experiences do not define you. You know, I've gone through ebbs and flows in my lifetime, from being in very difficult situations and seeing my parents go through difficult situations to having some amazing memories and situations. Wow. And so it's been quite a journey, but I think each and every one of those experiences are what helped define who I am.
And I think one of those experiences that people don't know, which is a fun fact, is that you used to work on cars with your dad, and your mother wanted you to be this Princess Diana, but eventually you worked with your father, and that built a stronger relationship there as well.
Absolutely. I'm a huge fan of my dad. I simply adore him. He had no formal education. 2nd grade was as far as he was allowed to go because he had a large family and they needed the children to help support. So with no formal education, he taught himself so many things, and I learned so much from him. And one of the biggest things is, you know, everything, there's an opportunity in everything. And so for him to be able to find something, he said, don't be scared of it. It comes apart. You know, you can put it back together. And so we took things apart and we put things back together. And so even though I had two brothers, I was the one under the hood, under the car,
Wow.
changing alternators,
Come on.
starters, brakes,
Come on.
you know. And mom, well, she wanted, you know, a girly girl, you know. She wanted to dress me pretty and have my hair done. And so she sent me to modeling school, Ellen Mead Studios in Bradenton, Florida. Former actress model opened a studio, and I learned so much from her. I'm very appreciative of the experience and the fact that my mother encouraged me to pursue it, because it afforded me to experience life in a different way. You know, the etiquette classes on how to sit upright, and you know what fork you use for what meal, you know, all these different things that you don't think about in your everyday life when you're living a very simple life of simple means. But in the business world, they look, how do you sit? How do you shake hands? How do you present yourself? When you sit at a formal play setting, are you fumbling with the different, you know, cutlery, or do you know exactly what you're doing? It provided a level of comfort and knowledge and confidence that's allowed me to get to, you know, the places that I've been able to experience.
And that's what I love, is the fact that even though you were breaking down parts, putting it back together, that teaches you that when something breaks down in the community, you know how to gather people together and be that community activist to help create the progression in the community. And then when it comes to, of course, business, look at the diversity you have in your character as a woman, and that has developed you to be the woman in business that you are today, doing what you're doing, helping downtown Orlando grow, covering Central Florida in a way that, you know, especially coming through the pandemic, how to unify the people. I mean, how does that make you feel?
You know, it provides me a level of comfort. I think people underestimate the strength within themselves when they're faced by adversity. And because I've seen so much and witnessed so much and gone through so much myself, I can feel the pain and the adversity when we're talking Black Lives Matter, when we're talking about because you're a female or because you don't necessarily fit the mold that they're trying to put you in. Right. And all of these businesses are people that have a vision and a dream, and they're just trying to provide a means for their own life, for their families. And so I see what they're going through. I want to help them along in their journey to self-sufficiency and be able to, you know, have that type of positive impact in others.
And you know, one thing I love about Jesus is the fact that he says, I did not come to be served, I came to serve. And I think the greatest thing in leadership is being able to serve people right where they are, meeting the needs before you can preach anything, right? Giving back to the community in such a way that you're helping them to develop who they are, and not just in the way they think, but in the things that they're doing here on earth, because we're all born with a purpose. No matter who you are, there's a purpose in you. Look at what your parents, they gave up their education, and even though they were limited, but they were not limited in the ability of creating what they were creating for you. Because today you're in business, you're thriving. Everybody knows Rosangela. I know there's something in you that continues to keep you grounded. What is one of the principles that allows you to stand tall as a woman and continue to move forward even when it gets tough?
You know, it's a very difficult world out there, and at the end of the day, the decisions we make are what define us. So I need to be able to see myself in the mirror or feel comfortable about the decisions I've made and the consequences that follow, and learn to accept them. And so I really think that at the end of the day, it's all a matter of really choosing who you want to be, where you want to be, and making the decisions that are going to guide you to that destination.
And of course, you have a beautiful family. You got your sons, you got your husband. What is that like as a businesswoman where everybody's seeing the community thriving, but then you have to thrive in your home? What are some key tips that you can share that keeps your family together that other women could be listening to right now?
You know, at the end of the day, you're mom at home, you're the wife at home. It's not... You might be in the city, some people might look at you and, oh, this is Rosangela, and hey, how are you, and how can we help you? And others are like, nah, I don't want to do that at home, or, you know, it's not the same thing. You think you're doing something better. Let's try this. It's like, let's not try that. I'm like, okay. So it's a different role, but nonetheless, it's very comforting to be able to go home and feel at peace. Surrounded by people that I love and adore, and you know, I embrace each one of them. They're all uniquely beautiful in their own personalities, and so I cherish that, and I constantly tell them, don't be afraid to be who you are. At the end of the day, what makes you unique is what makes you wonderful.
And what makes you beautiful is the fact that you're leaving behind a great legacy for your kids to see and for the community to see. There is someone watching right now as we get ready to end this show, Rosangela. There's somebody watching right now waiting for a word of reflection that can help inspire them and help encourage them to progress in life, that they're born with a purpose, and that you as a woman have something to give to this world. What could you say to that person watching right now?
At the end of the day, the choices you make define the person that you are. Don't be afraid to think boldly, live boldly. Just make decisions that are going to help you become a better version of yourself. That's all you need to do.
Become a better version of yourself. You heard what she said. There's tools that's been given to you today. The question is, what are you going to do with these tools? It's either you can let the parts sit on the floor, or you can gather them together, put it back together, and move that car forward. Like we say here on the Reflection Show, you are the dream that living. And remember, your experience matters. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. You enjoyed that interview, didn't you? Well, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and click on that notification. And remember, your experience matters.